Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tatiana. I'm a business coach and a mentor, and I love inspiring women to really build a life that they desire. We are currently in the middle of a series called Get Out of Your Own Way and Start the Stationery Business. And if you have missed any of those videos in this series, I encourage you to go back and watch them because there has been so much good information in there that has been very helpful for just the ladies that I've seen in the comments and everything. Like, I'm so happy to be delivering this series for you all, and it is really to help you finally give that yes to the stationery business, give the yes to your dream, the thing you've been wanting to do, something that maybe has been on your heart for years, right? Several months, and finally deciding that this is going to be the year that you make it happen. That is what the series is all about. And so this is another video within that series, and today we are going to be talking about some of the more techier side of things, the apps and programs that I use to just help run in the background of my stationery business. So we're going to talk a little bit about some different categories. We're going to talk about design. We're going to talk about back-end, admin stuff. We're going to talk about just Shopify as a whole if you're interested in getting on there. So definitely grab a notebook and stay tuned because I'm going to share with you all of the details on just the different programs and things I use to just keep this thing running like a well-oiled machine. If you are new here and you love all things encouragement, getting inspired, entrepreneurship, and really just following along with a woman, just trying to figure things out to just make dreams happen, then definitely make sure you subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to be a part of my Inspire fam, and this platform is such a wonderful place for you to come to really feel seen and understood when it comes to starting a business. One of the things about being a solopreneur is that it is so many different hats that we wear, and a lot of times it can be glamorized of like, oh, let's be entrepreneurs, let's start the thing, but there's so much work that goes into that. And so I really try to make sure that here on my channel, I keep the encouragement going, but I also keep the realness going just as much because I want you to know what you are signing up for. And so today I really wanted to just give you an overall picture of what are some of the different programs and things you can use to in some ways help your business run smoothly, but also maybe take a little bit of a load off of your plate if you can. We all have different types of things we are trying to create as we do our stationery businesses. We all have different types of things that we do in order to make our businesses work for us. And so I'm going to share what has worked for me, what I've been using over the years, and hopefully from that it'll help you to make some decisions because there are so many amazing programs and apps and just software and different things out there, and it can be very overwhelming to know what is the best for you. So we're going to touch on a couple of different categories. I'm going to keep this video very short and sweet and to the point, but just know that anything that I mention in this video, I have either tested out and used for a decent amount of time, or I have been using it from the beginning, and it is something that I truly stand behind and I feel will really benefit you, make things easier, or just really help you when it comes to running your business. So the first category I want to touch on, because it's really a simple one, is design. There is always going to be something that needs to be created, whether it is graphics for social media or email, if it is a product that's being created, maybe it's packaging you're designing. There's always going to be different things that you will be designing. And so for my stationery business, I find that there are really three programs that I find myself using the most. The first one I'm going to go ahead and just shout out is Canva. Canva has been an amazing addition for me within the last, I would say like maybe 3 to 4 years. I didn't use it as much in the beginning because I strictly used the second thing, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, but it has slowly become one of my favorite things. I'm on there almost every day. I use it to make thumbnails for this channel. I use it to make all of the graphics for any of the Inspire Blueprint social media that you see. I use it for like my website banners, product images, mock-ups for products. I use it for workbooks and freebies, like different little ebooks I may have. I use it for so many different things for the business. It is truly one of my favorite things to use, and they have so many features that a lot of us probably don't even know that you may have untapped into. They have video editing on there. You can create GIFs. There's so many things you can do. So all I'm just saying is if nothing else, if you are looking for a great design option, I'm going to go ahead and suggest Canva. I would definitely say get the premium though, because that's really where you're going to see the benefit of a lot of the features, especially the ones that I know that I use on a regular basis. You get access to all of the different graphics and things that they have, and the audio, and just all of the features that really make it amazing as it can be. The only time that I would maybe shy away from Canva, and this is what I have recommended to clients as well, is when you are wanting to design your own planner or notebook. There are some limitations with Canva, and I'm hoping that over time they are going to kind of really continue to make this program better, because they already have done so much to it. Is just with designing your planners and your journals, there are very specific things you'll need when it comes to like your margins and just the way that you lay your page out that I feel could be better on Canva. So this is where I really turn to Adobe. Adobe is going to be forever my love. I love Illustrator and InDesign. Those are the two that I use for designing all of the things, all of the products in my business. So all my product stuff is pretty much designed in these programs. So anything from like the covers of my notebooks and my planners, the inside pages of my planners, I design those in InDesign. All of the little, like if I create like a notepad or a sticky note or anything like that, all of that stuff I do within Illustrator. And then InDesign is kind of like that place that I do more of my, I call it my long form products. So really my planner, or if I have like a guided journal of some sort or anything like that, that is really where you will find that I do all of my designing in there. And then the third thing that I use is Silhouette Studio. So I do a lot of stickers as well. I have just individual sticker sheets. I do die cut stickers. I've done sticker books. I include stickers within products. And so there's a lot of times where stickers really come up for my business, as well as making my own packaging. And so Silhouette Studio is amazing for all of that stuff, because it allows me to make everything right within that program. You can add your fonts and all of the different graphics and images that you use from wherever you design them. You can put them in a Silhouette. You can cut them out on different materials. And so I love it. I always design all of my sticker kits in there, and I have been using it for years to help me with just creating a lot of fun products that I bring to the shop. I've done journaling cards in there, the little like cards that go inside of the orders when people order something. So it's just a really great program, and I like it. And of course that pairs with either a portrait or a cameo. So it'll definitely depend. And that's getting more into like tools and equipment, which we will talk about in a future video. But basically, that software itself can really help you to start designing the program. So even if you don't have the machine yet, you know, you can still start kind of using the program. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think you need like a model number. I could be wrong. Definitely let me know if I'm wrong. In order to start designing like your sticker files, or, you know, the different things that you're doing, learn how to use the program, play around with it. So I suggest that, especially if you are debating on purchasing one, see if you can get the software, play around with it, download it, watch some tutorials. And I think this goes for all of the design programs. Watch tutorials, get your feet wet, learn how to use those programs, because they can feel intimidating in some ways if you've never used it before, or you've never gone into it with the intention of trying to do things for your business. It can feel like, ooh, I don't know where to get started. And so I just encourage you to really be a learner, a lifelong learner in your business, and be open to learning these programs, because I promise you they are going to be game changers and you are going to use them all the time. The next one I wanted to touch on is Shopify. I've been using Shopify since I believe 2017. Before that, I started on Etsy. I loved Etsy when I was on there as well. I've debated on getting back on there and kind of having that as well in addition to Shopify, but I haven't set it back up at this point yet. So what I want to basically say is Shopify is one of the many options out there, and you have to find what is best for you. I personally have been using it for so many years. It will be hard for me to see myself on any other platform, if I'm honest. When it comes to just having my website hosted somewhere, being able to sell my products, they have a point of sale part of it. So like if I'm going to do like a market or in-person event and I need to be able to check people out, they have that part available. It's so easy to integrate with a lot of different other types of sites, which we'll talk about when we get into the drop shipping portion. They have endless amounts of apps. They have amazing templates. And so I love it for that. And then the customer service is top tier. Okay. Like I've always been able to get whatever assistance I have needed with Shopify. So it has so many benefits. They have amazing analytics, you know, so if you just need to see, you know, how your sales are doing, what your top seller is, just being able to get your financials in order, all of that stuff is just very simple and done really well in there. I feel like they do e-commerce well, and I love it. So that's my pitch for Shopify. I'm not saying you need to be on there because again, there are so many, but what I'm going to talk about is going to be, for the most part, I feel like Shopify specific, but I do know that some of these apps and things you can definitely use with other platforms, and you can look into that and find it out. But I'm going to be kind of speaking from a Shopify point of view. So when it comes to what you want to have on your website, first and foremost, I think it's very important to have your shipping set up. So with Shopify or even any of the other ones, typically they all come with shipping. You can just use the shipping integrated with it. Shopify has Shopify shipping, and so you could ship directly from their platform. And for many years, that is what I did. About a year and a half ago, maybe a little bit longer, I started using Pirate Ship. I have found that Pirate Ship is so much better in a lot of ways, but the main reason I like it is because it is a lot more cost effective. I'm not spending nearly as much for the shipping charges, and it's great because like it pulls up all of the different options for you, so you can see all of the different rates as you are processing someone's order and getting ready to ship it out. So if you need to make a change at the last minute, or if you need to ship it out a different way, you can do that. It's very simple to use, and you just kind of do it as you go with your orders. You can have all of, all your labels printed out at once. You can also, which I think is really cool too, is you can have just one scan sheet. So let's say you have a ton of orders and you have the postman that comes by, just like I run my business from my house. And so if I have a lot of orders, I can have a little scan sheet, so they only have to scan one barcode, and that will take care of all of the packages for that shipment. So that is a wonderful feature as well. And so there's a lot of things I really like about it, but really the main reason I like Pirate Ship is because of just how much cheaper it is to ship. So definitely check it out. It is an app that integrates with Shopify. However, you can also just create a Pirate Ship account, so you don't have to necessarily integrate it with Shopify, which leads me to believe you probably can integrate it with other platforms, or at the very least, you can even ship out stuff on your own, even if it's not associated with the platform. So I love it so much. Another thing that I have connected for my Shopify site that really just levels it up is the product personalizer. I'm looking at my notes, by the way. I have a little sticky note here. It is by Zepto. It's a product personalizer. And so if you've been on my website before, or if you're familiar with just customized products, things where you can add your name or different things like that, this app allows for you to have that preview come up live as the customer's on your site. So if somebody wants to get, let's say, one of my customized notebooks, for example, and they want to put their name on there, I have all of the settings set up in the background of the product personalizer app to say, okay, this person can use these specific fonts. They can use this color only. It's got to be this size, and they have up to this many characters. And so it's really, really cool because you can have it be a live preview. So as the person's typing it in, it is showing what their name will look like on your product in real time. It has been so cool. I've loved having it, and I've used it on several types of products. I've done it on my pouches, my notebooks, my tumblers, and different things over the years, but I think it is definitely well worth having. While it is a paid app, I do find that it is one that definitely I get my money's worth because it just gives that extra customer service experience that I really like. It makes the buying that much more exciting when they can see what it'll actually look like on the screen before purchasing it and all that stuff. So that is definitely one. Another few just kind of honorable mentions that aren't necessarily required, but something that I would consider would be having something that can get reviews for you. So I have in the past, I turn it on and off sometimes just depending on the season of what's going on. But I like to have reviews available. So where people can go, like if they purchase a product, and then they can share their thoughts about the product, they can rate it, and then it can appear with the product on your website. It is a wonderful way, just like anything, I think when we go to purchase products, we want to know, like, okay, well, what do people think about it? And so it kind of helps with that buying decision, right? For people to want to get it if they see that, oh, this got 5 stars or it has 4.3 stars and people are saying they like it and they love the material. So consider having something like that on your website. The one that I use is by a company called Yotpo. And there is a free plan as well as a paid plan, but you can set it up to where it will automatically send out emails to your customers within the amount of time that you tell it to. So like, let's say someone places an order, after it ships out, maybe 3 days after it's delivered, then it sends them an email saying, hey, what did you think of the product? Feel free to review it. Let us know what you thought. So it's really nice. You can integrate it in how often you want to reach out to people. And it's a really wonderful app to have. So that is something I would suggest. And then also having a live chat. So I'm sure you have been on a website, stationary or not, where you have the ability to chat with someone to get help if you have questions while you're on the website. What I really like about this is that it can integrate with my phone. So as I might be out doing things, or I might be minding my business and somebody might be on the site and they have questions, I will get a notification to my phone in that moment and I can respond right there, just like it's a text message. So that is another really, really great thing to do. Recently, I started using a Shopify Inbox, which is actually an app basically that is included within Shopify, but there are a lot of other apps. Like one that I was using previously was called Tidio, I believe, Tidio. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but that was one that I was using, and it was like a live chat that allowed for me to, talk back and forth with customers. You can set up the hours that it's available, but it's just a great way to, again, add that experience for people if they need help, they have questions, if they're trying to decide between two things, you can kind of be that point person to help them, just if they're getting stuck. So I would say that would really be it. There are tons and tons of apps and you will go down a rabbit hole, but I feel like at the very least, that is what I would start with when it comes to just kind of getting some things initially set up from the beginning so you have it. And from there, of course, you can always add more things later as you learn and you start to see where the gaps are and you're like, oh, it'll be nice to have this, or it will be nice to incorporate this into my buyer's experience. And so there's always different things you can add, but at the very least, those are kind of the foundational things I would add to the site for the apps. Drop shipping is another really, really great way to get products created for your business and then also integrated with your store. So integrations can be with Shopify, it can be with Etsy. There's a lot of different platforms that have these partnerships. And so I wanted to just share the 3 Ps that I personally have used over the years with my business. Some stationery, but mostly other types of products. So not even so much like paper products, but just things like pouches and mugs and apparel and different things like that. So the 3 Ps, because they all can like get very jumbled up if you're not careful. And I'll have everything linked down below for you, but it's Printify, Printed Mint, and Printful. They all have such amazing catalogs of products that will allow for you to take whatever design you've created and put it on those items. It takes you out of the equation and it now becomes their responsibility to make the product and ship it out for you. And it integrates really well and easily with your store. So once somebody places an order, you can have it set up to automatically push it right through to the drop shipping company. They will fulfill the order. They will ship it out to you. The customer will get notified through all this process, and it's very, very hands off. You also have the ability to do it in a way where you have to manually approve it first. So maybe they place the order, but you want to go in and kind of just make sure things are good. You can do it that way. You can also have it shipped to you first. It does add an extra cost because that's going to be double shipping, but you do have that option as well. I love drop shipping because it allows for me to have other types of products in my shop that maybe I don't necessarily have the capacity to create, or I don't have the tools to even begin to make it. And it allows for me to have that variety and, just an extra thing. So if someone is on there getting a planner and they're like, oh, this pouch is cute too, and they'll add that on. So it's just kind of, I look at those drop shipping products, not so much as really like these huge money makers, because a lot of them can be very expensive to produce. But it's just kind of adding a little bit of depth to my store and giving people a little bit more to add to cart. Like they might already be at something, or maybe they're getting close to free shipping and then they want to add on a mug or, something like that. So that is why I really like drop shipping, and I wanted to mention that. So check out the 3 Ps and just see their catalog. I always suggest ordering samples first before you just go ahead with it and start getting orders done. So that way you can ensure that you like the quality, it is up to your standards of what you want before you start having it shipped to your customers. But overall, the things that I know I have used with all the companies, the quality has been amazing and I absolutely love them. Okay, so we are moving right along, and I wanted to touch really quickly on marketing. I have a whole series on this channel about email list building. And so I will be sure to link that for you. But I wanted to mainly just touch on this because I think marketing and just reaching out to your customers is a really, really big part of keeping the relationships nurtured and growing them over time, and sharing what it is that you do and what you offer and the value and all of that stuff that I talk about all of the time when it just comes to building trust with your audience. And so there are a lot of ways you can do that. I personally use Flowdesk. I've been using Flowdesk for at least the last, I think, 4 years now, 4 or 5 years. And it is one of my favorite platforms that I have as part of like my business suite, essentially, of things. And it's very easy to use. I have a lot of videos on the channel about it, how to use it, so I'm not going to get too much into that. But it allows for me to not only send out my newsletters, it allows me for me to create automated workflows. So when someone joins my email list, maybe if it's a coupon code, it'll automatically send them the coupon, or it will get them inside of a funnel. So not only do they get the coupon, but then I reach out to them a few more times after that, and it's all scheduled, so it saves me a lot of time, but it's working in the background for me. So I'm constantly having people being nurtured, and people can sign up, and the forms are working for me and all that stuff. So I absolutely suggest having some kind of email platform set up for your business from day one if you can. Another really great one is Klaviyo. This one actually can integrate with Shopify as well. Like, it is literally an app you can have on there. It is wonderful. You can send out different campaigns and promote specific products and tag those products right from your Shopify store. They also have a part on there where you can actually do text messaging as well. So that's another great thing to integrate into your shop, as well as Postscript. That is another app too that you can do for text message, like text marketing. And so those are just ways to connect with your customers. Both of those work hand in hand with Shopify so that you can actually integrate your products with it. So if let's say someone's shopping and then they leave your store, it can have an abandoned cart message that goes to them and lets them know, like, hey, we saw you left. Come on back, girl. Come on back. Don't forget to check out. So lots of really cool things, but these are great ways for where solopreneurs can have like a marketing team, right? Someone follow up with a customer and be like, hey, don't forget to check out, or can I offer you this coupon, to help you with checking out. And these are the things that you can have running in the background that will help you to increase your sales and, just overall, like, get some of that stuff back, because, a lot of times people will not come back from those abandoned carts. And so it's nice to have some of those things in place. Even Shopify, they have like an automated thing that goes out, just an email that you can set up to for the abandoned cart. But these are all things you kind of want to start thinking about, because it happens. And when it happens, you'll be like, oh, wait, like, I didn't even realize this was something that I could set up. So I wanted to make sure I touched on that in addition to Flowdesk or whatever type of email platform you decide to use. I also have used MailChimp in the past as well. They have a free and they have a paid option. So definitely look at the pros and cons of both and see what your needs are. But I definitely recommend finding something where it will allow for you to have some type of workflow set up and a way where things can be automated so that you don't have to continue to send out emails all of the time on your own. I wanted to quickly touch on admin. There's a lot that I could say about this, but I'm going to just touch on two things, really. The first one I want to touch on is Google Workspace. I think it is a great thing to have. Basically, what Google Workspace allows me to do, I have a lot of my files and things saved in my Google Drive. Then, of course, I have my Gmail, and my Gmail is actually set up with my business email. So even though it is the Inspired Blueprint email, it's still in a Gmail inbox. So even if you have just like a regular, your name at gmail.com, it'll look just like that, but it can be for your business. They have different pricing tiers, so you can see what the different options are to see what you need. But I love it. Like, it's so much storage space in the drive. So that is one of the benefits that I really like about it. But in addition to that, Google just has a lot of amazing programs that will really help you with running your business. One that's just coming to top of my mind right now is Google Forms. I use that one quite a bit when I want to survey an audience or I want to just kind of ask questions. So if you are trying to poll people or get an idea of what people like or what they want to see from you, the Google Forms app would be really good to use. Of course, you can save all of your files and things in the drive. You'll have the email going. And there are so many others. I'm just touching on a few. I use Google Docs. I use the Google Spreadsheets. All of this stuff really can help you with just getting your business running and having a place to just kind of put all of your thoughts and ideas and your files, and it makes it very easy. So then, especially too, if you do decide you do want to bring someone or you do want to work with somebody, you will have all of your stuff saved in the drive that is accessible to whoever you need to share files with, which is very, very nice to have. So definitely look into something like that, even if you're not a Google person, something like that that will allow you to just get the most for your money. And I think they do it really well with how everything is just integrated in one. Like I get my email, I get my storage, and all the other amazing apps that come with it. And I'm sure I'm not even using half of the features that are available to me, but it really, really helps a lot to have that in place. And then also some type of project management, I'm also going to put in this admin category if possible. This is going to be really depending on who you are as a person and how you like to plan things out. I am a hybrid planner. So in some seasons, I am very heavily digital planning, more so in a project management software like ClickUp. That is the one that I have used for quite a few years now. I really, really like it a lot, but to be honest, I'm not in there all of the time. And so there are certain seasons where I'm like, ClickUp, ClickUp. Every day I'm getting in there, and that's just like what I'm into. And then there are certain times where maybe it's a little bit slower, or I don't really have a lot happening, and I'm more so really planning in my planner, more paper planning going on. I'll use my Google Calendar and different things like that. But I would encourage you to find some type of project management software. It might be Trello. I've used that as well over the years. I've used so many of them, testing them out. ClickUp is by far my favorite, but Trello or Monday or Notion, those are ones to check out to have somewhere that is not just your paper planner or your notebook. I think that is wonderful and it is great, but it gives you the ability to, like, let's say the notebook gets lost, or let's say that you just can't find it and you want to figure out exactly what it is you were trying to do. Having your stuff in these different types of programs, it's great because then they have apps. You know, you can pull it up on your phone or your computer or your iPad, and then that will allow for you to stay connected with your goals and your ideas and not feel bogged down by the fact that, like, oh, it's in my notebook and I don't know where my notebook is, or my notebook got lost, or my notebook got damaged, or whatever the case may be. So just something to consider. And then just as a last honorable mention, I have slowly been starting to love ChatGPT, and so I just wanted to mention that at the end of this video. It is something that I'm still trying to figure out what I want to use it for the most, and I have not used it as much for my stationery business as I have for the other side of my business, the like the more like coaching side of my business, as well as just my personal life. Honestly, I use it more for my personal life than anything. But I would just encourage you to check out ChatGPT. It is free and it is AI, which, you know, I was a little bit leery about. I'm like, I don't know. And sometimes I still am, because I never want to lose my own creativity and my own ideas. And so that's why I'm a little bit, you know, I use it occasionally for personal stuff. I use it all the time. But like when it comes to business, I'm very strategic about how I do it. But I do encourage you to check out ChatGPT. You can literally ask it anything. You can be very specific with the asks. You can be very in-depth. You can type an entire paragraph of what you're looking for. You know, you could literally say like, hey, I would love for you to act like you are a very experienced marketing expert. I am looking for a campaign plan for the next 3 weeks, you know, to launch my planner. And I would love some ideas on some topic. Maybe I just need like 12 topic ideas of what I can talk about, you know, as I'm launching or something. And then it will spit out 12 topic ideas for you. So just things like that. It can really work with you as a partner, especially because sometimes it's like, we just may feel burnt out, or we may feel like we've talked about it all, or we may feel like I don't know what to say, right? And so tools like that can really help you. And a lot of the tools that I've mentioned, they have really integrated this AI type of thing right within them. So like ClickUp is a great one with this. They have it built right in there. So I don't even have to really go to ChatGPT. I can just use the AI right in there. Canva is another one. They have integrated AI within there too. So it's just something to consider. It definitely also, again, it helps with that running smoothly. It helps you not feel so alone as a solopreneur. It just gives you that extra support because it can be a lot, when you have to show up in all of those areas. And I talked about this in one of my previous videos in this series. When you have to show up in all of the different areas of your business, sometimes you just don't have it in one of the areas. Sometimes you just don't feel creative, or you just don't know what to talk about, or you just don't know what to write. And so this tool can help you. And then from there, you can turn it into, you can put your splash into it. You can make it your own. And I love it for that reason. And so I'm going to continue to really try to dive into it more this year and share my thoughts as I use it a little bit more for my business and see what comes of it. But I can honestly say, like, on a personal note, I've used it to help me with meal planning. I've used it to help me with planning out fitness routines, homeschool lesson plans. I've used it for like study plans when I've been like trying to learn different concepts about stuff. Like, it is very, very nice, and it really gives you so much. Literally what you ask for, it gives you that and then some, and it's wonderful. I really, really like it. So that is the last thing I wanted to share, but thank you so much for watching the video. I truly hope it was helpful for you when it comes to running your business and figuring out what are the things you need to really get it going. These are some of my favorite programs, favorite apps, and things that I use almost on a daily basis, and I'm so excited that I was able to share it with you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.